Peace and love. How are you doing? Welcome to another Soulful Sundays or Sunday Soul session. We're going to get started. I hope you're doing well. Just going to light an incense cone to shift the energy in here a bit. I'm trying to get back in the groove of my little incense burner here. I'm doing these readings. Give thanks. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hope your day is going well so far. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you, Most High, for another day of life, for waking me up this morning. Thank you, angels, for your protection. Thank you, guides, for your direction. Thank you, ancestors, for your strength and for your courage. Spirit, what message do you have for us on this Sunday as we work towards our healing, as we work towards our growth, as we work towards ascension together, but separately, as we all head towards the next destination? I picture myself heading towards the sun, but we'll see. But we give thanks. But as we're moving in this world with these dense and heavy energies, as we're encountering people that are negative or naysayers or that seem to harm our spirit, or in cases we harm our own spirits by doing things that we shouldn't do, or dealing with situations or people or energies that we shouldn't deal with. How do we rise above those things? How are we healing ourselves? How are we moving forward? Thank you, Spirit. Let's see what we get here. All right. What are we working on today, Spirit? We're working on going within or going in the divine flow. Eventually, one's blind desire takes precedence over all others, to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. And what else do we have? Right now, stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled at each moment. So Spirit wants us to go with the divine flow, but we also need to have patience because we can't go too far ahead of it. To be honest, we won't be allowed to go too far ahead of it, We can't rush it. We can't rush the divine flow. But the energy is saying that even though we're in a period where we might not feel any movement, that we are moving with the Spirit and we are moving with the energies of the divine. And this card says right now. So it's happening right now. Stay in the present and don't go too far ahead. And I think that's a hard thing to do, is to not think too much about the future, but think about where we are right here and right now, our healing right here and right now. Spirit is also telling us to have gratitude. Fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. So we're trusting Spirit. We're trusting the Most High. We're going with the divine flow. We're moving at our own pace. We're being thankful. We're showing gratitude. And we're enjoying the moment right here and right now. This is a lesson for me. This is something that I have a hard time with. Not seeing the works not seeing the abundance reflected in the works. But the abundance is reflected because you're doing it, because you're living your truth, right? But we live on this planet where we want to see things that are tangible. We want to be able to hold them in our hand. We want to be able to utilize them, right? But this is a different type of energy. We're going to get there, but right now we're just moving. Let's see what else we got coming out. Trust. Spirit guides on the bottom with fluorite. Lepidolite, trust, third eye and crown chakras. Labradorite, psychic ability, third eye chakra. Wow. Angelite, angels, throat and crown chakra. Let me see that. Simple message here, right? It's what we talk about, and then also underneath that is detoxifying. I just wanted to show this as well. Water and ocean. Some of us need to do salt baths, healing salt baths. Some of us need to drink more water. Some of us need to get to the water for cleansing. That's how we can heal ourselves, by getting to the water. Any body of water will do. For prayer, you can't hop in right now because it might be cold, but you can go to the water and you can pray. And you can give thanks. When you pray near a body of water, especially one that's moving, I love to go to the river. I haven't gone in a while to get back there. But when you're able to pray and you're able to give thanks, you're able to send out messages through that body of water by being near it. You can put your hand in it, or you can just pray near it or meditate near it. You're sending that vibration out. So it's a powerful amplification tool. So just wanted to share that with you. Then also detoxifying by drinking water, but also we're detoxifying ourselves from negative situations. This is 2022 now, right? So we can move away from some of the things that we were dealing with in 2021. 2021, I talked about it in my last year, was a heavy year. It was a heavy, 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 heavy year. And a very detrimental year for a lot of people. A lot of loss, a lot of sadness, a lot of grief. But in that is always hope, right? So we give thanks for that. But we're detoxifying our bodies. We're detoxifying our minds. We're detoxifying our spirits. We're detoxifying our circles of people that we deal with. We're detoxifying lower, heavy energies, right? We're lightening up our bodies, right? Because we all are working towards ascension. What does that mean? It means that we're moving to the next dimensions. For some, it's heaven, if that's what you believe in. It's whatever you believe in. I don't get into that. It's whatever it is for you. But ascension is the next level. But you can ascend on the planet as well when you raise your vibration, right? When you become to know yourself a little bit more, your higher self, you're ascending. So we all should be in a process of ascension, which means that ultimately when we get to the next chapter, when we get to that next body, that next spiritual evolution, we make our way with a light being, the light body. Okay, so we're working on detoxifying the body. We're trusting in our spirit guides. We have two cards here about the third eye and the crown chakras, right here and here. These are very, very important, but you can't just get here and here, right? You have to get here first. You have to activate the heart as well. That's the heart chakra. It didn't come out in this reading, but I'm going to bring it up really quickly. The heart chakra is the activation point for everything, right? When we tap into the heart, we tap into all the parts of ourselves. It means that we're no longer locked up. It means that we're trusting in the Most High. Because the love that we have to have for our spirit guides, the love that we have to have for the Most High, the love that we have to have for our ancestors needs to be so abundant, and it needs to be so powerful that it trumps everything that happens in this physical world that we live in, which is in opposition to that. Because the physical world wants to keep the lock on the heart, right? So when we unlock that heart chakra, we have access to unlimited potential, in the spiritual body, here in the spiritual vessel as a person, and then all around us. We have access to our spirit guides, utilizing the third eye chakra. They're mentioning fluorite here. If you have a piece of fluorite, I have some, but I don't have it right here in front of me. Meditate with that and ask that your third eye be open and cleansed. Some of us need to detoxify and cleanse our third eye. Some of us are already open to spiritual energies. We're already open to those things that are not seen, and we need to cleanse. We need to do a deep cleansing with some salt water here, a saltwater bath, and we need to do a cleansing of the third eye, right? And that could be through meditation. That could be through talking to your spirit guides. That could be through going outside and doing the meditation. Always meditating inside is beautiful, but also going outside with the aid of our spirit friends outdoors, the trees, our animal messengers, all those type of things. But we're trusting the divine flow, right? And so we know that our spirit guides are with us. We know that our spirit guides are guiding us because our hearts are open, our minds are open, our third eye is opening up. And so we're listening for those messages. We're listening for those signs. We're looking for those signs. And it's not looking where we stop everything and we're like, where's the sign? What's going on? I don't hear what's going on. You're not telling me anything. We're going with the divine flow, right? So we don't forget that. The divine flow is moving naturally, moving at your own pace. It's not rushed. It's not necessarily slowed down, but it's not with any expectations necessarily. We just know that we're being carried and we're being moved. And it takes a bit of patience, but it takes trust to allow yourself to be guided. Some people they don't want to be guided. They think of the idea of being guided by others like being a follower. But this is truly being guided by ourselves because we're accessing the higher parts of ourselves. The spirit realm. We exist there too. We exist everywhere. We're everywhere if we want to be there, right? So we're going with the divine flow. We're listening to our spirit guides. They're whispering in our ears. You're beautiful, you're lovely, you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path. I'm so proud of you, I'm so thankful for you, And so we're showing them gratitude in ways that we show them gratitude. Thank you, Mom, for being with me. Thank you, Grandmother, for being with me. Thank you, Grandfather, for being with me. Your life is just important to me in the physical realm as it was here on the planet. I'm grateful for your presence. I'm grateful for your energy, right? You put your altar together, right? You go to the river, you give thanks to your ancestors. You acknowledge your grandmother that passed. You acknowledge your mother that passed. You acknowledge them. These energies are still alive in a way, different. Maybe not in the physical, we can feel them, but it's a different type of life force energy. But they still are as important to us here as they were important to us in the past, right? Their presence has changed, it's shifted. It's shifted spiritually, maybe metaphysically. The body, the energy, energetically is shifted. But the presence and the spirit of the person, the essence remains the same, even more powerful. We'll talk about that maybe, in another reading. But we're accessing our spirit guides. We're allowing them to whisper messages in our ears. We're allowing them to move us forward as we go with the divine flow. But we are not rushing them. And that's the thing too, because, I can get caught up in that as well, where I'm not seeing anything. You're telling me to do this, you're telling me to do that, but I'm not seeing anything. I've done it. Now what? So it can't be a situation like that where we're waiting either, So it's a strange space to be in. Where going with the divine flow is a strange space to be in because there's no expectations with it. There's no rushing of it. You don't see it fully realized. It's not a fully painted picture. It's putting one brushstroke on at a time. It's laying down the foundation and then it's adding a wash of color. This is even before the painting begins, right? So, the Spirit is saying that we're trusting our guides. Trust, third eye, Who are we trusting here? We're trusting the self, the third eye and the crown chakra, here and here, when we've accessed those energies. We're trusting the self. We're trusting who we are. We're trusting that our spirit knows who we are. Even if we're unsure of what we're doing here, even if we're unsure of the path per se, the spirit knows. So that goes into trusting the self, which becomes hard. And it definitely becomes harder when you're listening to other people. And I've talked about this many times, and I will continue to talk about this. People want to tell you who you are. The world wants to tell you who you are. Because secretly, they want to manipulate you and control you. Or secretly, they don't want you to do anything. They want to trump you. They want to make you feel insignificant so they can feel great. Right? So we have to get into the point where we listen to ourselves, and we listen to ourselves above all. Not saying that we don't listen to the advice, but we know when advice is coming from spirit, because spirit talks to people too. So we know when advice is coming from spirit, and we know when advice is coming from a negative entity. We need to be able to discern that. Spiritual discernment, it is a must-have when we walk in this wicked world, right? The world is wicked. Please understand that. So we're trusting ourselves. We're trusting the baby that was born into this planet. The baby that came here from another dimension, that was birthed into this planet. The spirit being that came here from another dimension, that was birthed into this planet in a physical form, came here for a reason, right? For some, you want to have a good time. Wonderful. Want to go with the flow in that way. But best believe that you came here for a spiritual reason. It could just be to share and spread your kindness. But if you're in a state of negativity, if you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust your environments, if you're constantly putting yourself in environments where people are hurting and manipulating and stepping on your kindness, then are you going to still be kind? Right? So we have to always trust ourselves above all. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I love to do? What brings me joy? What brings me sadness? These are things that we can start to ask ourselves, even if we don't know that deep innermost part of the spirit and what the spirit wants us to do spiritually. The work, that's the work. The work might, give you a fortune, but the work might just be abundance in the spirit realm. That's a whole other subject. But those are the simple questions that you can start to ask now. What do I love to do? What did I love to do when I was a child? What brings me joy? What brings me sadness? What triggers me? These are things that we're thinking of. This is what's trying to access that inner knowledge. This is us trying to learn how to trust ourselves so that when we're thrown in situations that are against us, we know who we are in those situations. And that's what this world is. This world is a situation that we don't necessarily, belong in. We belong here because the Most High put us here. We all have purpose to work within this world and to share our gifts with the world. But the world can be a treacherous place, right? The work environment can be a treacherous place. Relationships can be treacherous landmines, right? So we walk into these environments, and if we don't know who we are, if we don't trust ourselves, our innermost self, then we're subject to be decimated by these systems and by these oppressive environments, right? So we're learning to trust ourselves. We're learning to trust our spirit guides. We're working on our psychic ability. Psychic ability doesn't have to be, reading the cards. It doesn't have to be predicting the future. It doesn't have to be having prophetic dreams. What it's saying is, I have harnessed, or I will love myself enough to know and to be sensitive to who I am in my environment. It's being sensitive to your environment. It's loving yourself enough to be sensitive with yourself and loving yourself enough to listen to yourself. Being psychic can be all those things I mentioned before. It can be reading the cards. It will be talking to your spirit guides. First, you have to believe you can do it. But it's also talking to yourself. That's the first step, I believe. I talk to myself a lot. When you start to talk to yourself in your mind, you shut up. Some people talk too much outwardly. The psychic ability in that high priestess energy, in that hermit energy, these introspective energies, these gifts, they come from being inward. It's an inward energy. It's not an outward energy. It's outward once we put that energy out, like that's what I'm doing now. It's first inward, now putting it out. But it's not just talking and running your mouth, right? Because we want to access who we are. It's peaceful. It's quiet. And when you start listening to yourself, chattering in your mind, what you're saying, ideas you're having, thoughts you're having, songs that are playing, that's accessing psychic ability, because you're saying things to yourself that are important. You're noticing things about your environment that are important to notice. You're seeing things about people that are strange, and you're saying those things to yourself. You're becoming more aware of your environment. You're becoming more aware of the people that are around you. You're becoming more aware of yourself and how you feel in certain situations. You're becoming more aware of, that didn't work that time, but maybe I'll try this. Or I love this idea. Oh, this might be a wonderful poem, or this could be a wonderful lecture. This could be a wonderful painting, whatever it might be, right? So we start to allow the light body or that spirit energy to take over us in our minds. We start to listen to ourselves above other people, because people are loud. They want to tell you what to do. They want to tell you how to do it. They want to tell you how to walk. They want to tell you how to talk. They want to tell you how to move. They want to tell you to punch in the clock. They want to tell you when you can go on vacation. They want to tell you this. They want to tell you that. We live in a world where people want to tell you what to do. You have to ask other people to do things that you should just be able to do on your own, right? I have to call into work because I feel bad. That I feel bad because I called into work. Because what, right? So we live in a world where we are structured to the point where, we're taught not to trust ourselves. We're taught to let somebody else tell us. They'll tell us what's right. They'll tell me what to do. Where's the rubric? Where's the syllabus? Where's the whatever? Where's the schedule? Where's my schedule? Where's the calendar? Where was it? And so we become locked in. We become locked into this particular time. It's not the divine flow, I'll tell you that. But we become locked into time. The structure of time, right? And so we have to slow down. We have to go with the divine flow. We have to be able to quiet the mind. But we also have to trust that what we're saying means something. We're not just yammering in our heads. We're talking to ourselves. We're getting into the space where we are discerning, things that you're saying, people that you're seeing. And I usually wear, because we're talking about psychic ability, and this is something that I came across, because I wear labradorite a lot. I have a pendant that I wear. And I just recently had a job, and I usually wear it for protection, but I also wear it for psychic ability and psychic protection. But I realized something about it. I realized that it's not keeping people away. It's not keeping negative people away. What it does is it amplifies the environment, whether good or bad. But it amplifies the environment so that you cannot run from it. Or it puts you in a situation it'll help you see situations that are very uncomfortable. And you see yourself in that situation, but you're looking at it from a distance. And you're thinking to yourself, why am I engaging in this situation? So it's protection in that way. It doesn't block it. It amplifies it around you. And I experienced that. And I thought to myself, wow, I'm wearing it for protection, wanting to keep the evil and keep the negative entities, negative energies at bay. And the day that I'm wearing this, I feel like I'm getting hit left and right? Because that's the detriment too, when we're in negative situations and we deny it, or we want to say, oh, things will get better, or it's not what it seems, right? Or maybe I'm seeing it wrong. Maybe I heard them wrong. Maybe they don't mean what they say. Maybe they, and so we get wrapped up in that thing where when in reality, this situation is wrong. This person is negative. This job is not good, these type of things. And so that's where that discernment comes in. That's where that psychic ability comes in. Not that we, like I said, that we're out here fortune telling and reading cards. It's that we're listening to ourselves. We're listening to our spirit guides. Those abilities start in the self first, right? It starts with something small. It starts with that childlike mind where you believe what you say is real, right? So we're going with the divine flow. We're not rushing the divine flow because we can't. I'm telling you, you cannot rush the divine flow. You will not rush your spirit guides. You will not rush the progress. You will not be able to see the full picture. You will not. So let's go ahead right here and right now and just say we won't be able to do that. But we still need to move forward. And right underneath that we have abundance. Citrine. So abundance. In whatever way is right for you. In whatever way the ancestors, in whatever way spirit feels is right for you. Which can be difficult and which can be beautiful all at once. Right? So the abundance comes to you in the way that it's meant to come to you. And that's all it is to it. For some it'll be tangible, and for others it'll be spiritual. It's always spiritual, but to see it in our hands and to feel it in our hearts, maybe they're the same. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. But the idea that an abundance comes to you through creativity, the solar plexus chakra, and that's what we're talking about here. That solar plexus chakra, that psychic ability as well. That's that gut feeling. That's the stomach. That's where you know something's not right. Or something makes you feel good. It just really depends. When you're in a bad situation. When things aren't right. Come on now. Don't play. Don't play around. So we know we're knowing. We're learning. We know it fires us up too. We know we're feeling good. Because that creativity is just sparking. Those ideas are coming left and right. We're feeling ourselves. That's where the abundance is. Will it be tangible, what you receive from doing the work? Not necessarily. But the abundance comes from being yourself. Right? Because don't forget we're walking in the wicked world. Right? So anytime that we can show ourselves in this world that we live in, when we're dealing with negativity, is abundant. We're acting and we're receiving abundance. So we give thanks for that. Selenite. Peace, the crown chakra. Through that abundance, we receive peace. Peace of mind. It's the ability to rest easy. It's that knowing that whether I'm here for a day, whether I'm here for a month, whether I'm here for many years, we all are here, we're gone, we're coming, we're gone, we're transitioning, we're returning, we're leaving. It's a cycle. But no matter what part of the cycle I'm in, don't we want to have peace in that cycle? And so that's what we're working towards. We're working towards that inner peace. That's also in opposition to the world. And I don't mean the natural world. I don't mean the world that's created by the Most High. I don't mean the natural world. I'm talking about the man-made world, the hectic energy, the machine, the driver, that type of energy. The peace is in opposition to that. So that's why it's difficult to get to, and that's why it's so important to get to. Because the peace accesses, it shows you not only the world around you, but it allows you to go with the divine flow. It allows you to trust and access your psychic ability. But it allows you to see the world as it truly is, but it also allows you to create the world that you want it to be, right? Not saying that we're fantasizing, but I'm saying that right here in this room with you, with us together, For this particular moment in time, I have, you have, we have created this energy, right? In this particular room that I live in with my candles lit, early in the morning, I have my candles lit. That's fine. I'm reading my cards. This is what I love to do. This is what I'm called to do. I'm called to talk to my spirit guides. I'm called to still communicate with my grandmother. I'm called to believe that she's still with me and to know that she's still with me, just as she was here in the physical. I'm called to do that. I am called to still have faith and trust in my ancestors. I'm called to believe that they know what they want me to do and what I know I need to do, right? Because things are still undone. Don't forget that. Some of us are still here to work on things that are still undone. And somebody after me will work on it. And somebody after them will work on it. We're all lightening up the energy. Heavy energies that were left behind. My ancestors dealt with difficult, heavy energies, things that I can't even imagine. That's another video we'll talk about. That's heavy energy. I'm working to lighten that energy. But back to what I was saying. At this particular moment, in my bedroom, I have created the world that I want to live in. I have created the peace that's right for me and right for my spirit. And in this particular peace, in this particular environment, which I've created, I know who I am. I know who my ancestors are, who my guides are. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going. I might not know the result. I might not know the full picture, but I'm going with the flow by doing this reading. They might not watch it. They might not hear it. That's the most discouraging thing, is knowing that you put works out there that people might not see, they might not hear. Spirit says, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you are at peace with yourself. That you are at peace with yourself. Let's see. Let's get a Sacred Destiny card and we'll close this one on out. Create your own world. Create your own world within the chaotic world. Create your peace. Allow those by your side that love you. Some of us walk alone. It's okay. I think Spirit says there are new beginnings on the horizon here. This card is interesting because we could be here, we could be here or we could be up here. You see that little trail? I'm sorry, I can't get it right. We could be here or we could be up here. Look at it. Or we can be up here. It really, who knows? I don't know what we are. I don't know where I am on this path. But the bottom line is, anytime you walk in the path, anytime you're walking in divine flow, no matter if you're just getting started, no matter if you're in the middle, no matter if you're moving towards that horizon, we're all moving towards the horizon. But we all are working to get over that hill. But once we get over there, the lessons don't stop. The learning is still there. Difficulties are still there. But we're still moving with peace. We're still moving in the divine flow. We're still giving gratitude. And each step we take towards knowing ourselves better is the new beginning. That's the new beginning. Every day could be a new beginning. Every moment is a new beginning. Every time you want to get to know yourself more, it's new. All right. We'll see. Ooh, and underneath that we had miracles. Miracles. So let's be prepared for them. And let's realize that our miracles, what we see as miracles, might not be what the spirit realm sees as miracles. But they're still miracles. To be alive is a miracle. Us talking right now, chatting together, me chit-chatting with you, talking, looking at these cards that were created, sitting in this room, it's a miracle. So let's give thanks for that. All right. Love you. Until next time, take care.